Hello, guys, all my good people out there. So, I have two quick birthday shout outs to give before we get started. And that's to my number one star student in the whole world, and also wishing her good luck in high school. And a happy birthday to my man who actually had a birthday yesterday, but I'm still wishing him a happy birthday this way today, and hopefully he appreciates it. And my star student, she appreciates this. And I can't get into this video without talking about her, so let's get into it. So, I was a tutor for 6 months to this incredible, awesome, amazing young lady, helping her out in her mathematics. So I've known her for about 2 years now, and whether I work with her or not in the fall, I know she'll shine and do amazing things in high school. She already did incredible things in middle school, so I know she'll do just as well, if not better, in high school. Her future looks very bright. She's wise beyond her years, sweet as the day is long, catches on the material very quickly, and I know she'll be able to shine in high school and shine in life. I've seen her be brighter than people twice her age, probably even three times her age. So I'm not concerned about how her high school is going to go or anything else in her future. She's wise beyond her years. I'm not going to disclose how much her mother paid me. However, I do believe that I was paid a fair amount. And for me, it wasn't really about the money, it was more about helping my student herself. I was just happy her mother decided to give me a chance anyway, and it was more about baby girl over how much I was getting. It was all about making sure my student did very well. That's all I cared about versus how much I was getting. The promotion for me is just basically being the one to get to help the young lady, because when I was first hired, um, her mother didn't exactly tell me what subjects we were going to be covering or anything. And so I made my own subjects that had to do with the kind of things that I could possibly be working out. And I was happy that her mother decided to keep me for as long as she did and give me a chance to let me be the one to do it. And that my student herself is happy with working with me as well. And that my student herself seemed to like working with me more than school. So the promotion in itself is basically me being the one to be chosen as the tutor, and I got better and better every week as a tutor, and my student got better and better as a student as well. In 10 years, baby girl will probably be on her way out of college, so I don't know where would that leave me. I just hope I'll be right alongside the journey with her. I was helping my baby girl on most Saturdays on account of her school and her personal work stuff and her parents' workload and everything else. And I loved it. They gave me something to look forward to most Saturdays. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. The only thing I will say is a little advice to baby girl out there. Sometimes you're known for rushing and it costs us the answer. It's just a minor mistake. I'm sure it's something you'll work on in the future, not only in high school, but in general. Just making sure you take your time so that the work is done correctly and double checking to make sure the answer is correct. Other than that, it's a minor thing you can work on. And everything else, however, it was perfect. It was perfect. I enjoyed it. I love it. The personality type for this, being a tutor, not only with this, but probably with anything, is really having a lot of patience. It takes patience to get a job well done, and sometimes patience to work with a particular individual. And so for me, I never yelled at my student. I always encouraged her. I was patient with her. She responded pretty quickly. And no matter how a person's response level is different. So that goes back to patience of what I'm talking about. Just learning how to be patient with people. No one likes being yelled at. No one responds well to that. So it takes a lot of patience in order to be a tutor. and work with any student, or being patient really with doing anything. I also encouraged my student and praised her for how well she was doing, and I'm sure that helped to build her confidence. And for all you all out there, I'm sure you guys would like to have encouragement and praise on how well y'all are doing, or encourage and praise those that are part of your team, your staff, whatever, whoever. Just having that encouragement and praise, knowing that you're doing a job well done. I had a great support system as far as those who are already aware that I was doing this. The best support, however, would be from my student's mom. She's the one who put me in the position in the first place, and I appreciate that. Not only that, but I know that my student herself and her mother are very proud to tell people about me, and I'm sure that even her father might be telling people about me and what kind of a tutor I am. And so I really appreciate that. I chose this position because I'm happy to do it. I still am happy to do it. Like I said earlier, it was all about making sure that my student did well, not about how much I could get. I was tutoring other people in other subjects prior to my student, and even while I was working with my student. And my student now is obviously the best student I've ever worked with in my whole life. She always has been, and she probably always will be. And this is the first young lady of her generation that I've ever worked with in my life, and the only young lady I've ever worked with thus far of her generation in my life. And so I'm real proud to do it. The two biggest skills to have for this are to never give up and have patience. However, my students' mothers seem to prefer someone who was already in college, someone who graduated from college, someone who already had experience, and of course someone who was willing to want to do it, who cared enough about her daughter to want to do it. And I cared enough about the young lady to want to do it. And prior up to helping my student, I was quick with responses as well. So having education will definitely help you well with whatever position it may be. Some things don't require much experience, but having education will definitely help. It'll work in your favor. The starting salary definitely reflected what I was doing. And like I said, I was paid fairly, and I'm happy with what I got. If anyone else ever wants to be a tutor in their lives, have patience and never give up on the student. The student needs you. All students really respond better to positive encouragement, whether you're a tutor, a teacher, the educational field, whatever capacity you work with any student, and have tolerance to deal with all students no matter what their development levels are. Some students will develop faster, some students will develop a little slower, but for those that are slower, like I said, try to be more patient with them, especially if it's your first time ever doing it. And it's their first time as well receiving a tutor in their lives. Indeed, it's a great resource to help out with this. The two biggest things that I learned from all of this, being patient and not giving up on the student. Another thing I learned is that some students are wiser beyond their years. Some students may just need the help. It's not as if the student is idiotic or anything. Some students may actually be on the lazy side. Some students may actually be smarter than they appear. And I found out earlier that my student is wiser beyond her years. So she's definitely not lazy. She's definitely not idiotic. She just needed a little help, a little push. That's all. And that's all it takes with some students. The biggest determinant of success is having patience and even having experience and being educated enough to be able to work on students' problems that you're able to do your do yourself when they need your assistance. Because In school, we think to ourselves, when are we ever going to need this? Well, you look back in the future, and there may be someone else who may be struggling with the same thing, and your knowledge could help them in their work in the future. And I would totally recommend this if you want to use your brain to help those that need help with anything academically. My student, however, is off limits. She's all mine. If you want your own sweet student, go find your own somewhere else. My student, however, is off limits. And once again, I wish her a happy belated birthday. And I wish my man a happy birthday as well. Hope he had a good day yesterday. And I thank you all very much for viewing this today and hope y'all have a good one. Stay awesome.